Radio Retro Future.
So, good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bonsard of Radio Retro Future, and today I have a kind of a response video for you. This is usually not what I do, I know, but I just needed to get this off my chest. I had a very extensive response from somebody on Facebook on my latest video, Does Steampunk Exist? Now, I will admit, the title of the video itself was kind of inflammatory. It was intended that way because I want discussion. But this response hit a particular nerve with me, and that's why I just want to get it off my chest, and also as a kind of a summary of some of my previous videos, because a lot of the things that I talked about in early videos are all coming back in this response. So that's why I found this particular response so interesting, because it has that total package of things that I discuss on my channel. This is not me hating on this person. I mean, I want discussion, I want to talk about this. That's why so I make this video right now. However, when you are making a response to anyone, be it me or anyone else, there are certain rules you need to take into account, or else you're gonna make a complete ass of yourself. Not saying she has done that, but I will talk about that while we go through the comments. So she starts off her response to me with this: Steampunk is modern technology adapted to a Victorian level of technology, mostly steam and clockwork. Perhaps you're basing your definition of steampunk on your experience with a small community. I think you said you're from the Netherlands. I might have misheard. Irrelevant. This is already one thing, like you're basing it on an experience with a small community. No. But she goes even further. All in all, I think your opinion is too biased to begin with, and that you should try to do more extensive research on the matter. Reading a few novels would really help you understand the concept. Okay, this is how she ends the stuff for clarification. So, why am I biased? That's my first question. What is biased about this story? I mean, first of all, I'm clear that this is my opinion, so yeah, of course it's biased. But why is it too biased? What is that thing I said or done that makes it too biased? Don't know, she doesn't clarify, but then again, this is a Facebook response, so that's what you get. Then, to do more extensive research on the matter. I've been doing this for 4 years. I've done this channel since March. I have done interviews with over 50 people. I don't know how many events I've been to. I've got 2 theme groups. I've been helping other groups. I've been an advisor. I read over 200 articles. How much research do you find acceptable? Is my question. You can go on about my credentials, but this is all irrelevant to what we're talking about. So this is a very important rule in discussion. You know, this is an ad hominem. Don't use ad hominems. You're only gonna burn yourself. Especially when you're saying that I've not done extensive research on the subject. I'm sorry, but when? How does it affect my arguments? So, what are her counter arguments? Well, let's go through the list. And yes, Wild Wild West is steampunk because it's steam-powered robots. It doesn't get any more steampunk than that. This is exactly what I've been talking about in a lot of my videos. No, I'm sorry. It's not steampunk. You know, I don't like to be that guy that talks about cutoff dates, but the movie Wild Wild West is based on a 60s or 70s TV shows. I'm not sure what decennia. Not many people know this, but this was based on a very short-lived TV series with, the characters that Will Smith plays. Here's my problem with this. When you retroactively start including movies, books, whatever, into steampunk, where does it end? I mean, that makes like Shitty Chitty Bang Bang, 1000 Leagues Under the Sea by Disney, Jules Verne, H.G. Wells, and I could go on and all the way through history and say, oh, it's steampunk. No! No, steampunk has been inspired by those works. That's where the inspiration, that's where steampunk got its ideas from. Originally, these writers did not know, you know, in the future this is gonna be a unique... No. This is where the inspiration comes from. And this is one of the major problems I have with steampunk from a very early moment, that people started everything they liked is steampunk. Brown lingerie. I like it. Now it's steampunk. Wild Wild West. Oh, I like it. It has all the things I like. Now it's steampunk. Oh, Jules Verne. Yeah, I like that. Now that's steampunk. And I could go on and on. And this is why, as one of the commenters said, steampunk has grown out of its seams. Because people really started to include everything they like into steampunk. Fallout isn't steampunk, it's atompunk. I don't recall ever calling Fallout steampunk. I made an entire video about it as well. So she probably just misheard. There's an atompunk. Well, I did an entire video about why it isn't atompunk. And a funny story, because I mentioned this fact this weekend to somebody I know who's also a great Fallout fan, and he was like, atompunk? The fans of the genre do not agree. I also talked about that earlier video, like, when you look at the story threads, it's more of a noir. When you look at many of the subplots, it's very cyberpunk in its themes. As the world itself, well, that's really just apocalyptic. Fallout is just unique. So unique, it's hard to put in any particular box. I'm sorry. You can judge, this is what she's saying again, and circuit punk, as you call it, is coming to refer to as cyberpunk. I don't give a damn. Why? Actually, why is this referred to as cyberpunk? I mean, cyberpunk... Yeah, I guess it inspires cyberpunks. There are not that many left. I never really seen that many cyberpunks use printing plates. And what I saw of circuit punk was all jewelry, which I never seen people wear. So I don't even know. You know, this, for me, the circuit punk, as I saw it on the quick Google, it's just something, they needed to tag it as something. Yeah, a jewelry made out of circuits. Circuit punk. Yeah, I could rent hours on that. You can judge something is steampunk or not by how it works. It's supposed to work with steam and clockwork. Why? What if it works on electricity? And cogs are still work today. Clockwork is still used today. Steam. Nuclear power plants? Also steam powered. If it uses petrol, it's diesel punk. Petrol? You mean if it uses diesel, it is diesel punk. And also, that already existed in the Victorian era. I'll make an entire video on what my problem is with the Victorian label. If it uses atomic energy, it's no, I'm sorry. Atom power is also a staple of normal science fiction. Hell, then basically any science fiction book would possibly be atompunk, for the reason that most spaceships, especially the ones based on reality, are often powered by nuclear energy. So, yeah, it's such an arbitrary element to say, oh, well, why not? They already knew they could make nuclear power all the way in the Victorian era. That also kind of begs the question, what if I want to write a steampunk story based on nuclear power plants in the Victorian era? Is that steampunk or atompunk? How is it different? If it's atompunk, how is it different from steampunk? You know, and I also could describe those nuclear power plants as nuclear steam engines, because that's basically what they are. So, you see a trend here. Yes, a trend completely based on arbitrary characteristics. My opinion, of course. But I'm not the only one who has these complaints. I don't see the difference. And it's rather arbitrary to me. What are we even talking about? Are we talking about narrative and aesthetic? Because those are also two different subjects. Victorian era had a very ornamented crafts from silverware to cannons. That's something that steampunk also incorporates. Not only things are useful, but also beautiful. So what? Sorry, I can't do anything with that. Steampunk has also a huge focus on military looks, being set between World War I and World War II period. A lot of steampunk, based on the Victorian era, is also very military. I also see a lot of dieselpunk that's very inspired by, you know, the gangster culture, you know, the fedoras and the coats. A lot of the dieselpunks that actually identify as dieselpunks are all the fedora wearing types. So yeah, I can agree that military wear is more fetishized in dieselpunk. I can see that. But no, I do not agree on that. I know a lot of military-inspired steampunk. Atom Powers goes hand in hand with pin-up fashion. I always assumed that was dieselpunk. And what does an atom punk pin-up look like? How does that look different from dieselpunk? I really don't know. I never, yeah, probably I can find atom punk. I don't know. It's cyberpunk has a very strong the Matrix is cyberpunk. Yeah, so we agree on that, I suppose. I agree that steampunk music is something really hard to categorize, maybe ballads, operette, or glees with a modern rhythm. I'm not the best person to answer this question, of course, but it's not limited to that. Especially when you listen to Italian steampunk, I noticed is very heavy metal inspired. I'm talking about Dave Six, Poison Garden. There was another one. Oh yeah, Birthright. Also very, and you know, and then you've got, it also incorporates things like the Jacobin Club, of course, but that's also very goth, very punk. Let's not even talk about Men That Cannot Be Blamed for Nothing, Professor Elemental, Montague Jacques Fromage, Feline and Strange, who, right, in their interview with them, you know, turned out they were more science fiction inspired, but they got embraced by the steampunk community, thus becoming steampunk music. But you know, we have very extensive conversations about that on the channel. Another question based on that remark about the music is, why can you accept that for steampunk music, but not for steampunk as a genre? Alright, and then there is a remark about this in Artinian groups, and most people only speak Spanish, so add a brief Spanish translation. Okay, fair enough. Group rules. I understand that. This is probably a more emotional video than you are used of me, but yeah, I just needed to get it off of my chest. That's basically the reason why I'm making this video. That's why I'm not doing as much of the editing as I used to. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will say again, no hard feelings to the commenter. It's actually a good check to see what my position is on these subjects. So yeah, consider it a bit of a summary video of other videos that I've made, which I'll just put them down in the description so you can have a look at that if you haven't seen them already. I don't really know what to further make of this, to be quite honest with you. So this was sponsored of Radio Retro Future. I bid you adieu, and as always, hey kids, my sound is better now. Yeah, I had my mic the wrong way around, so I kind of sounded like I was underwater. Yeah, as a final statement I'd like to make, if you want to respond to my videos, if you're a regular watcher, please comment on my channel, so I can, you know, kind of save the comments that are made. In some comments there are actually some really interesting things, some really interesting remarks, some knowledge. Some people share some history, some of their own experiences. So please, if anyone wants to respond in the future, please do so on the YouTube channel under the video instead of on Facebook. I don't mind there being Facebook comments. On the contrary, I enjoy them, so they give me inspiration. if you've got any questions, any remarks, any criticisms, please send them my way so I can, actually do something with this, or clarify some things, stuff like that. But if you do, please do so on the YouTube channel. Also, for those that really want a challenge, you can also invite me for an online discussion, so we can, go in depth and talk about these subjects. I'd really like that. I really want to do more with that subject. Of course, you already have the discussion panels, but I would also like to do, more one-on-one discussions on such subjects like this. So, if you're interested in doing that, please send me a PM. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. You'll be notified of any responses and any new videos that I make. So yeah, apparently you also like this format better than my other formats, because these are the best viewed. So yeah, expect more of this in the future.
Do it all once more. Watch me. I'm going to show you the next two parts right here.